What's up, y'all? So, I got the Enduro 24 in today, right? And I don't really do unboxings. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and unbox something because who wants to watch that? Like, you've seen the box, you've seen it out of the box, whatever. If you're gonna buy one, you'll get to unbox your own. So let's just count on that, all right? I don't do unboxings. So most of the time, I get something I'm too excited to even film doing the unboxing. I'll rip it out. I'm like a little kid at Christmas. I take it out and I'm ready to roll with it, see what it can do. So I got the Enduro 24 today, and I got to say I'm kind of liking it really out of the box. It did some things that my C10, which is what I really kind of compare this to, wouldn't do. And so that's kind of impressive straight out of the box. So I had a mod here I wanted to show you real quick. Yeah, let's check it out. Okay, so I basically have so much going on here, like it's hard to even keep up. But I was working on the Gen 8, and then this thing came in, and it's just been all this now. Trying to figure out how to better this a little bit. So one of the main complaints I think with this truck I'm seeing from everybody is the tires are so small. They're pretty decent. I mean, better than stock, say, C10 tires, I feel like. These are just much harder, whereas these actually give. I mean, they're not great, but they grip better, and so they allow you to climb a little better, in my opinion. But they are so small. Okay, I thought the C10 tires were pretty small. You can see how much smaller these are. So people were saying, well, first off, you need the bigger tires to get the belly up a little, because this thing drags its belly everywhere it goes. Same thing C10 did. If you watched my must do mod on the C10, you'll know what I did there to help it. But the main problem with putting a bigger tire on this is the gap you have right here is not very big. The wheel and tire sit so close to the chassis and the shock there that even the stock tires you get rubbed. So a bigger tire is going to be horrible unless you do this mod. Okay, so you can see the front here. I have the Wrangler, and let's just look at the size comparison. Okay, huge difference. And you can see the gap that I have here is much better than stock. So what I did was I flipped these RC four-wheel drive wheels. I flipped the hex from the inside to the out, and then mounted it like this, basically, with the hex on the other side of the wheel. It gives you that deep dish look, which I actually really like, and it lets the hex act as kind of a widener. So you can see there how that's kind of like a widener. So you can do that, and you can still run the millstone weight, actually. So you could even run those and the wideners or whatever, but I was just looking for something, to put together that would work for now. Sorry for the sniffling, my allergies suck. The problem with that is when you do that, the stock wheel nut on this is so much bigger than, see, this is the stock one, and this is an SCX 24 wheel nut, so it's quite a bit bigger. Well, you can't really get to it down in there between those screws
it's really hard. So what I did for the front is I had extra SCX24 axles laying around, and the front works perfect. So you can swap the front axle from the SCX24 to this and it'll work. So that took care of that, because then I could use the smaller wheel nut, and I actually had a good little thin walled wrench that would fit in there. Maybe you have a thin walled wrench that'll fit the bigger nut and you'll be fine. I couldn't get anything in there to tighten that up really, until I decided to do something on the rear. The rear, if you don't know, this is one solid axle, which is crazy to me, but whatever. So what I did on the rear, since I couldn't switch it out, you can see I got the black deep dish back here. I was just playing around with which wheels I wanted to mount. Same thing on it. Let's see. Mounted the hex on the back like that. Okay, so I had to swap out this hex for a stock SCX24 hex, because you can see how much thicker the Element, this is the Element Enduro hex, this is the SCX24. You see how much, it's almost twice the thickness. So it was killing my threads. I didn't have very much threads out here to do what I needed to do, because once you mount that on there, it looks like I have a ton of thread there. Before I didn't have as much, you know, I was like this. And then the way that the nut falls down into that little lip there, it's kind of hard to explain. But the way the wheel nut drops down into that lip, if I can get this to sit here. The way the wheel nut falls down into there, like it's impossible to tighten that nut. So what I did on this is I took some of these little spacers I had left over from some hot racing stuff. Any kind of little wheel spacer or whatever will work. I had to grind that down. That was too thick as it was. I had to grind it down, trying to pick it up. Put it down in there like that. It's not sitting down in there very good. Then your bigger wheel nut will go on there. I'm gonna try to, I guess I could try to do it one-handed. And then I still made a tool. So this is one of these Traxxas tools, and the one side fit. So I cut the sides off, and then I grinded that down until it's basically as thin as I could get it to where it will fit inside of there. Now I'm not sure if I can line this all up with one hand, but I'll throw it on here, and then I'll show you right here. Okay, so that's on there. And it works. So you get that cool deep dish look. It widens the truck. You can see the gap here. It's much better compared to that. So if you're looking at this little truck, there are ways to make things work. That's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to pick it up, is just the challenge of making it better and trying to make things work that maybe really aren't supposed to work for it. So you can see I found some weights to run inside there. I'm gonna try those out. I don't know how they'll do, but they seem to be all right. I put these rock locks on there because it's kind of all I had, and they're horrible. I hate these rock locks. These are actually worse than the stock tires that came on this truck. I put these on there, and with the truck wider and everything, it won't even climb as well as it did with stock, just because it just sits there and spins. I don't know what it is about these rock locks, but they suck. Anyways, just thought I would do a quick video on this thing. I'm going to do a full review, rundown, and comparison with a stock C10 coming up soon, so keep your eyes out for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you get the notification and you'll know when I upload all of these videos. So appreciate everybody watching. Peace.